Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Um, it took 4 minutes to set up the stream. Hello and welcome. And I forgot to turn off my own preview of the stream, but that's fine. That's fine. 4.5 minutes. Look at that. That is beauty. That is absolute beauty and a marvel of modern technology. Yeah, this is absolutely awesome. Okay. Let's go over to here and reduce the volume on my end because I don't want to deafen you all. There we go. Also, how do you set this up? I'm a professional, I swear, right? In the editor, yes it is. Game capture specific window, Doom, done. Look at that. You should now be watching what is effectively the main menu screen of Doom. And there we go. Okay, so going into the campaign, start up a new one, go over to settings really quickly and set my stuff up because I haven't played this in absolute ages. 115 FOV. Turn off motion blur. There we go. Lovely, look at that. Keep these display settings. Yes, I want to keep these display settings. Turn this up. Lovely. So, I have noticed no dropped frames so far, which I'm gonna play on medium because I want to be able to look at chat as well occasionally, and be able to play the game. Now, is this actually? Huh. Okay. I have realized a potential issue with this. Why is it not on the thing? Oh God. Go here. Yeah. Okay. Game capture. Specific window. Doom. Done. It doesn't seem to be showing for some reason or another. Is it potentially because Doom's crashed? Maybe. Maybe. But in my defense, literally the first time I've tried this out. So it turns out it's not going to take actual 4 minutes. It's going to take maybe a little bit more than that. But look, this is fine. This is to be expected. What? Crashing is to be expected. Look, everything that takes off crashes and burns eventually, does it not? Well, not if you're Elon Musk, apparently. But give me, just try this a little bit differently. How do I? Okay, so that's crashed and burned. Okay, let's try now. Okay, run as admin. Boom. Should be good. Should be starting in any second now. Yeah? Any second now, he said to himself. hoping beyond hope that that's actually true. Please? You start pleading with technology as the moment it takes over, right? Yes. There we go. Okay. Good. Potentially good, I don't know. That look good to anyone else? Let's see, I'll check the stream through here. And, no, it is a black screen. Kind of odd, to say the absolute least. What if I go over to live scene display capture and do that, and then move over here? It's going to take a while to update, but... Aha! Maybe? Yes. Yes, maybe, definitely. There we go, look at that. Beauty. So... took a bit of effort, took a bit of trying, but here we are. Potentially. Yes? See, here's the thing, I'm looking at my own stream while streaming in and of itself, which it's... the delay time between the two is taking a bit of time, but it's fine. It's fine, look at that. Start new campaign, hurt me plenty. There we go, we should be loading in right now. Yes. Great. Well, like 10 minutes? Yeah, look, it wasn't all that bad. It wasn't all that bad. I'll look at chat and then keep up with chat through here. But I've just noticed I don't think I have the chat overlay on. It's not a problem, I'll set it up next time. There's supposed to be like a box in the corner of the screen with chat. And it's like I put a nice frame on it and everything, but I think I need to move that to like the front because it's currently sitting, I think, behind the full screen display of Doom.
They are raid.
The header's not, but this is, which I'll look,
without
we'll set
mercy.
that up for next stream.
But
It's not that important.
You will be worse.
Everything else
Rip and tear
supposed to be
until it is done.
can I skip over this, or is this a loading screen? Reasonably, I'm gonna be and I will endeavour to look at the audio really quickly and reduce it by like 13. There you go. Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake. Do you wanna know what happened? The fucker crashed again. Crashed and burned in the middle of the fucking loading screen. Fine. Fine. Go through here. Don't look at this. This is not relevant in any way, shape, or form. We'll try and hide it like so. Yeah? There we go. Just don't... Excuse me? There we go. Just don't alt-tab out of Doom. There you go. Look, it's a nuanced experience for everyone. Nuanced experience for everyone. Apparently alt-tabbing out of Doom makes it crash and burn horribly. It's fine. Fine. We expect stuff like this. No, we don't. Not in the 21st century. There are literally a significant portion, there is literally a very significant portion of your audience that alt tabs out of games all the fucking time. You'd think you want to, you know, pander to them a little bit and make this game alt tabbable, though streaming takes up a stupendous amount of resources, so... And I did decide to stream one of the most graphically intensive games of the year 2016/17, so yeah. You know, it's... You get what you reap what you sow, and this is sort of what I asked for, so yeah. At any rate, should be fine now. Potentially. Yeah, there we go. Even the framework. Framework? What the hell is a framework? Even the frame rate is okay. He says. We'll ignore the fact that it says 0 up in the top corner of the screen. Oh, fun times, fun times. Okay, here we go. So 10 minutes in, right? Roughly 10 minutes in. Yeah, this is all fine. It even saved. Look at that. It even made like a tiny little save when we got out, when we got off the table. It's lovely. There we go. So the UAC. How much of Doom do I remember from playing it in 2016 when it came out? Oh, a decent bit. It's like the beginning I've played through several times. Like the first half of the game I played through several times. Don't ask me why. I just did play through it several times. I finished it once, I think. Pretty sure I finished it just once. So the later stages of the game will be a little bit trickier, but the beginning we should be able to speed through relatively well. At any rate, this is, like, again, more so for the purpose of testing than anything else. Because my theory is, if it can handle this sort of thing here, you know, with
until it is done.
High-octane blood, gore, guts, and action, it should be able to handle like Europe Universalis streams and other strategy game streams that will pop up every now and again. I'm trying to make it I'm thinking about making it a weekly thing, but it does take quite a bit of time. I could otherwise be using for mostly rendering and open videos. Recording isn't even that difficult, but rendering 60 FPS videos takes time. Worst part about it is you can't do anything while it's rendering, like literally nothing. So yeah. At any rate, though, here we go. Let us begin. FOV seems a little bit odd, but that's 120. Yeah, I didn't save it, did I? Keep these as places. Yes, there we go. Just check once again on the thing whether yeah, this is perfectly fine. There we go. This is as good as it will get. Minus actually the what's it called, the chat thing. I'm pretty sure the chat thing is working. I just don't have the frame for it, which is supposed to be there. But again, I'll put that in later. But yeah, this is what I want it to be. Pretty sure this is it. Yes, yes it is. Okay. Again, the delay thing, it would take like a minute to well, I don't think it's a minute. Delay should be something around 30 seconds-ish. Maybe a bit less. I don't know. Yeah, come on. Whoops. Come on. Let me at him. There is hell to pay and demons to slay.
Cannot determine the cause of the demonic invasion until the Rezop satellite is brought back online.
But do tell me if the audio is in any way, shape, or form.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Samuel Hayden. I'm the head of this
loud or
facility.
quiet.
I think we can work
Even though I think the game will
together
crash if I
and
try and
resolve
alt tab
this
to
problem in a
change
way
it.
that benefits us both.
I'll supposedly be able to set it up once and then have it be on pretty much the same level every stream, but it's it might not. I don't know. I did alt tab during a loading screen, which tends to crash and burn games. It's fine. Game. I know this is the first time I'm playing on this save file, but I've done this before several times. It's quite alright. There we go. Mine, give. Combat shotgun. Prefer the double-barreled variant, but this'll do. And look, it's your first enemy. Woo-hoo-hoo. This is sort of... Oh, that's too easy. I should have upped the difficulty. I should have upped the difficulty a little bit, I think. Because I'm pretty sure I just cut him in half with not a lot of recall on this thing. There's less than I remember. Could be a sign that I got better at the game, or a sign that something updated. And I'm pretty sure something updated, but hey. Yeah, I think they reduced the recall on this thing, which is cool. begin. First room clearing procedure.
Demonic presence at unsafe level. Lockdown.
You. What was it? Big Smoke from GTA San Andreas. Smoke your ass. Smoke your ass. You want some too? There you go. Lovely. Out of the... Ah! Aim needs a little bit of work. I will openly admit this. But I haven't played the game in like a year, so bear with me. It will get better as we progress. It's muscle memory, you know? Especially for FPS games like this. It's muscle memory just to get a feel for the guns and mostly the sensitivity, honestly. Yes, I do know the trick with sensitivity. Try and mark a thing and then keep it on in your sights. And yeah, there you go. Yeah, I can do it. Oh, there's more? Where are ye? Show yourself. I'm fighting an invisible demon, I was gonna say. Yeah, come on.
Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
I potentially should have not made the title Speeding Through Doom. Doom? What the fuck is Doom? Speeding Through Doom because, it's gonna give the impression that it's a speed run. It's not. It's just me going through as fast as possible, which is relatively slow, but, you know,
I'm willing to take
still
full responsibility for the horrible events of the last
you
24 hours,
get the
but
general
you
idea of
must
it.
Understand, our interest in their world was purely for the betterment of mankind. Everything has clearly gotten out of hand now, yes. But it was worth the risk, I assure you.
Okay, I'm gonna need to alt-tab really quickly. Cross your fingers. Actually, there is a save file here, isn't there? It's a save point, sorry. Yes, it does. It's checkpoint. So, really quickly, escape, alt-tab, reduce the desktop audio like so. Go back in here. Please, for the love of God, let me tab back in. Fine. Fine, you don't have to let me tab back in. I'll just start up the game again. This is becoming a little bit cumbersome, let's just say. Sodding. I know, it's the fact that I'm streaming. It doesn't do this usually, because, yeah, this takes up like 30% of the processing power. But you could put a little bit of effort in, you know, not crashing every time I alt-tab. That would be helpful. Thank you very much. There we go. Let's have to lower the audio a little bit. Oh, don't fucking start with me again. Fine. Fine, look. This the way you want to do it? Fine, there you go. There you fucking go. Better? Thank you. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Wow. You'll notice the number keeps going up. It's fine. at any rate, this is a sort of, I don't know, prep phase, if you will, for Doom 2 too. Well, that's a sentence and a half. For Doom 2 as well, isn't it? Because I know it's not called Doom 2, it's Doom something. Fucking Doom 2 if I say it is, okay? Well, watch out, we got a badass. No, here's the thing. You named the 2016 game Doom. Fair enough, right? But there is already a Doom. Yes, but it's the one from my childhood, i.e. the one nobody really remembers nowadays. So it's fine. You can name this one fucking whatever you want, right? You can rename it Doom. And it kind of does fit, because you're sort of rebooting the entire franchise and the entire series. Okay, good. Logical next step is Doom 2, right? It even has a good name, a good ring to it, doesn't it? Doom 2, look at that. It's like, it's simple, it's short, it gets the message across, and most importantly, encompasses what the game is and what the game will be. And what the game is, / will be, is basically more of this, right? You see this before you? Game is essentially more of this, except that it's stationed on Earth, which, you know, nice change of scenery, and it's nice, it really is, but that's not good for your knees, you know? But, you know, I admit there is a difference in scene, and probably a difference in demons and stuff too, and you're going to upgrade the game both graphically and in every way other shape and form possible. You're going to try and make the gunplay even more satisfying. Fair enough, you know, that's good. I approve of that. Good work. Good luck. I'll probably buy your game. Look at that. But why is naming it Doom 2 a problem? Because their reason for not naming it is not because of any of these reasons. Like it's you know, it is going to be more of the same, but it's going to be on Earth, so it's not really the traditional Doom. No, their reason is there is already a Doom 2. But there's already a Doom. Do you not know this? See, I would assume that you do by virtue of the fact that you fucking made it, and that the two games, you know, the original at least, the original two games came out in relatively close succession. Would make sense to me that you are at the very least aware of this fact, but, you know, apparently not. Okay. I'd like you to cease and desist. Thank you very much. Alright. You're good. You're gone. There we go. I think I struck a good balance. I was gonna say up the difficulty, but I think I struck a relatively good balance between being able to look elsewhere from the screen and do relatively good and not die every 3 minutes, which, yeah. I think that's fair enough. I need a blue key for this if I remember. Yeah, and the door is fucking blue. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out, but yeah, it's like I said, muscle memory. It's like riding a bicycle. You don't really forget, you just take a little bit of time to refamiliarize yourself with everything, and smooth sailing from then on, yeah? Open. There we go. How'd you throw grenades? What's the button to throw grenades? Is it G? If it's not G, we're gonna have a problem. I don't want to take up time and rebind my keys. I think they use a melee key and stuff like that. I tend to rebind because F is a little bit awkward for melee. Who cares? Like I said, after like the first level, you get used to anything pretty much. I do have an anecdote for that. So there's this dude I know, a bit older than me. He started playing Wolfenstein relatively recently. The Old Blood and then the New Order, and now he's going to go through all three of them. Basically, finish the prequel to the first game. And I was like, okay, so what do you need me for? So, just like, he just bought his computer and needed help setting it up and everything. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'll help out. So we set the thing up. It's like a relatively mid to low end computer with what did he get? Like a 470, 460 AMD, something like that. And on like relatively high settings, it can run. I've got a beast CPU though, so that helps. But on like relatively high settings, it can run Wolfenstein and Doom and stuff like that to like 40 FPS ish easily. You can't really hit 60, but it does go above 30, which is, you know, to me is perfectly playable. Like, obviously I love 60 FPS more than. I mean, okay, let's. I'm playing at 100 right now, so I really shouldn't be talking about this because I haven't played with. How do I? Yeah, I have to dismiss. Okay. What do I want? Explosive shot, charge shot. I want a charge shot. There we go. So it's fine, you know, like it's playable. Says the guy playing at like 110 to 120. True, but it's like it's 40 FPS. It's more than playable, right? It's enjoyable. Though he claims that, you know, he can play with like 25 FPS as long as the graphics are good. He doesn't mind, which I have few bones to pick with that as well. But that's not that's not where this bit is going. So the guy plays with the weirdest control scheme you have ever seen, right? And I personally don't care, right? It's a video game. You're playing it. It's all I need to know. You can play it with any controller scheme you want. You can play it at any difficulty. You can play it with any mod you want. I don't care. I have zero judgment or anything really about the entire thing. Genuinely, it's like so, because most people are going to say it, but they're going to be like, oh, look at this idiot. Right? No, I genuinely don't care, but what I don't also do is understand. Because, let me give you, I don't remember all the keys, but I do remember most of them. So, he moves forward using the right mouse button. So I'm like, how the hell are you going to aim? I was like, I don't need aiming. I'll just fire from the hip. Like, okay. Fair enough. I mean, I aim a little bit too much in video games. I'll aim to headshot him, even though I can do just click the mouse button twice and do that, right? Fair enough. Maybe I'm being the weird one here. Okay. So how are you going to move like left and right? Using the fewer than, greater than keys on the keyboard. That's for those of you not very well versed in math. That's the stuff next to the right shift key and yeah, it's next to the left of the right shift key. So you're gonna move left and right with that. Okay, well, how are you gonna move backwards then? Because, you know, in games like these, it is actually very useful to be able to move backwards to dodge out of the way of stuff, and you know, moving backwards is generally considered useful. Because it's a hell of a lot faster than turning around and moving forwards. And occasionally you will need to move backwards. Okay, he's going to do that on the mouse wheel down. So you're going to scroll the mouse wheel down like this every time you need to move backwards. At this point, you lost me. See, up until this point, I sort of could get behind that. I mean, it would take right around an hour and a half, probably, to not die to the tutorial. Most likely, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm going to try, every time I try and aim, I'm going to walk myself into the thing I'm trying to shoot. But, for now, you know, for this hour and a half, it will be a struggle, but after that, you know what? Just maybe, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Am I? Pretty sure I am. After said hour and a half, just maybe, I'll be able to finish the game like that, right? Just maybe. At this point, you had me lost. And I'm like, okay, so now let's look at the other keys. Melee. So what the hell do I need melee for? I've got guns. Well, like, you regenerate health in this game with melee, and it's kind of a lot easier to punch someone in the face than shoot them several times. Melee is very important in this game, okay? How do you want to do that? Plus, if you want to do stealth takedowns, you can use melee, and it's especially for lighter opponents, it's very satisfying to knife them in the face and all that stuff. Yeah, he's like, okay, enter. It doesn't sound that terrible, right? Because enters, for a time back when Jesus walked among the living, when I was young, says the 20-something-year-old, right? I know, but like in the 2000s, in that sort of era, the games were very often. In the games, very often you would interact with stuff on enter. So you would open doors with enter. You would pick stuff up with enter. This is not. It came as a default very often in FPS games. E and F became the default later down the line, right? But originally, it was enter was more common, if not just as common, perhaps even more common than E or F. But okay. But here's the thing: it's melee. The problem I'm getting at is you need to be able to do it quickly, because you usually don't do melee on purpose. Or you don't put yourself in melee situations on purpose unless it's Doom, in which case it's slightly different. But the point being, you use melee in like as a reaction to someone being close to you. So it's like an instinct almost reaction, or it sure as hell should be, right? And 3 secrets, yeah, we're not finding many secrets, trust me. So it's like, you want to do it quickly. Having to do it through enter means sitting in front of the enemy for at least like a second, during which time it'll take you to remove your hand either off the mouse or off the movement keys and hit enter. This is not quick. This is not a reaction thing. This is now a... Okay, let me move my hand off the mouse. Let me hover it over the keyboard. Look for the enter button. There's the enter button. Hit the enter button. No! No! And then there's a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. It's like, where do you throw grenades? It's control. Okay, I mean, it's control in Doom, so I suppose it's fine. Did you accidentally just hit it? Yes. Yes, I did. Usually for me it's the G key, often, because I mean it's sort of right there, but okay, you hover one finger over the control key at all times anyway. But no, you don't, because you move forward with the right mouse button, and you move left and right with the greater or lesser than keys, right? So in actual fact, no you don't. Just, that, what? I don't understand. I don't. I genuinely do not. But at any rate, that's where that bit was going. People play with weird control schemes that I don't understand. And if there is someone who could elaborate on this, I'd love to know. I genuinely love to know sort of the thought process, the thought process behind this, because there must be method to this madness. I refuse to believe that this is someone just randomly selecting keys and they're like, oh, that's a pretty key to do X. So going the wrong way. I genuinely do not believe in this. This is the one level where you play Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. True story. Well, yeah, it's minus the annoying kid, but sure. Whatever. Oh, hi. Why not use a shotgun? I'm conserving ammo. Think about it. It's controversial. It gets the people going. Oh, ow. How rude. I dare say, how rude. But at any rate, I will endeavour to finish the game on stream. And we'll then move to probably like a strategy game or something. But yeah, I'm thinking about... Oh, hello. I remember you. I'm thinking about doing like games that I will finish on stream and like speed through on stream, like exclusively on stream, and not have a series about it, because that, believe it or not, makes it a lot easier. It's minus the editing. It's 15 minutes of setting up a stream that nobody wants to watch and gets people pissed off probably, but you know, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. But it does make it easier for me, and it's fun. It is genuinely fun to have, like... I just this in general. I'm meleeing demons and talking about weird control schemes. This is my idea of Sunday oh, it's actually Monday. Of Monday afternoon entertainment. Perfect. What more would you want? I don't want to talk about how many times I fell down there in the first playthrough. I just no. Let's not talk about that. Do I need to kill the zombies too in order to get through the area? Because I thought you were there. So you begin to look at them after like the first 4 minutes of the game. You begin to look at them as like health packs and health pickups that are just walking and tracking you down rather than as enemies, because yeah, genuinely they're not. Oh, until they turn into something, at which point they are. But yeah, the game starts now. Yeah, everything up until now was. Yes, you can still pick stuff up while in this quasi cutscene. See, I know stupid stuff like that to health, right? I know stupid stuff like that to increase your efficiency and speed, but I don't know where to go most of the time, which is. We'll see, talk about weird, that's weird. Knowing like a couple of skips and how to speed up cutscenes by like half a second, but not knowing where to go like 90% of the time. That's, yeah, weird. Weapon upgrade point, tap to go to the arsenal. Yes, please. Reduce the charge time between bursts, increase the fire rate of bursts, reduce the loading time for the charge burst. Increase fire rate. Guys, I'm going to try and use, at least early game, I'm going to try and, oh Jesus Christ. I'm going to try and use the burst thing against tougher opponents. Gotta go through here. Yes. If I recall correctly, I need to wait for the train to pass, but... Screw it, I like to live dangerously. There is a bug that can kill you, by the way, here. In this. And it has killed... many a streamer. Because essentially you get stuck in the door or the lift. You get your foot stuck in the lift or something, it's not entirely a bug, but it sort of glitches you out, and that's why it kills you. Because I'm pretty sure getting shot in the face is a little bit more dangerous than getting your toenail squeezed by an elevator, but you never know. Maybe it's pick this up now. Maybe it's an elevator of doom. Eh? Dun 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 dun. I remember this as being a little bit comfortable to deal with. Let's try it. Use the explosive barrels. There's just that. For some reason, that message stuck in my head. Like, I don't know, a year ago. Like, in this area, use explosive barrels where you find them. There's not that many of them, but use them, they help. Because there's quite a few of them that spawn. You should have jumped up that thing a bit quicker. There we go. Imagine for a time, and this Also, the ammo was also a bit of an issue. I imagine for a time, there was a period in this game's development where entering melee didn't give you an invincibility frame. Or an invincibility period, actually, it's not a frame. I imagine that this had to be the case, and I dread to know how that felt like. Because at that point you just didn't do melee, right? Because it was... You know, that surely had to have been the case. That is brutal. You'd imagine that most people... I totally hate you and I refuse I refuse anything else. There had to have been, period. This is what you get for trying to look at elsewhere while clearing out a room. Of the evildoers.
Lockdown disengaged.
Is it supposed to look that scuffled, or is my video not loading right? It's supposed to look that scuffled? Let me check. I realise this comment has been made 6 or 7 minutes ago, but apparently my chat window's not working. By the way, the chat window is supposed to be right there in the corner of the screen. Let me check. Ah, for fuck's sake. By the way, the chat window is supposed to be right there in the screen. Check. Ah, for fuck's sake. Doesn't look like scuffled to me. It doesn't look like 1080p either, but I don't have the internet connection to stream at 1080p. But it should look... I mean, quality-wise, it should look exactly like the previous stream, which is... You know... I believe it was 720 when the VOD went up. Should be fine. Or at the very least 480 in the live viewing experience. I don't believe there should be much... else that's the issue here. And the real kicker is I can't alt-tab to check. That's the real problem. I picked the absolute worst device to No? Well, it looks a little bit, pixelated and scuffled, as you say, but it's not, I don't know, it depends how much. Because it doesn't look bad to me, it just looks a little bit, I don't know. Looks watchable, which, I suppose definition of that sort of varies, doesn't it? From person to person, but it looks like a 480-ish stream. Mind you, it was 720 on like a static map last time, so really, maybe that's not giving me, no, but maybe I'm the one that's at fault here, because it was rather, come on, let me through. Because it wasn't the most graphically intensive piece of work, let's just say. Oh, look at that, we found my favourite gun. You see, we can finish the game with this gun, you're just not aware of it yet. Take it. It takes too long, we're not going to use that anymore. Yeah. Dunno. And open airlock. Lovely, that's the end of the mission. No? Of course it's not. What we do is a quality game with lots of content, yeah? Look at that, lovely. I should probably save this gun for, oh, I don't know, like, the toughest enemy now is going to be the shield guy. Actually, the toughest enemy for a while is going to be the shield guy. Because, God. I'm sorry, I'm having way too much fun with this. Give me a second. After this expires, I'll continue the train of thought because I'm enjoying this too much. Have I told you how much I enjoy this power up? In case you couldn't tell, I like this. This I like. Okay, there we go. We can continue the somewhat reasonable. No, get away, get away. We can continue the somewhat reasonable commentary. Die. I can save ammo for this thing. Save ammo for this thing. Where was I? Yes. Last time it was a static map, pretty much, with 17th century people in white wigs colonizing the Americas, so... And really, it was like statues of those people colonizing the Americas more so than anything else. With occasionally a ship going through the screen, so it really wasn't graphically the most intensive piece of work ever, so yeah, I don't know. But that wasn't last time, was it? That was before that. Last time was Mother Gunship. And this should be quite literally exactly the same as Mother Gunship, so yeah, actually there we go. Turns out, after a long enough monologue, you find the answer to the question you're looking for. This, quality-wise, is a carbon copy of Mother Gunship. I need to find my phone, though, because I can't look at chat through the monitor due to not being able to Alt-Tab. Found it. Here we go. Come on. Right fucking there. Click it. Come on. Click it. Click it faster. Sent an example over Discord. Don't know if it has 460p though. It's 480, I think. The default. Oh, look at that. That's a bit large though, isn't it? Huh? Yeah, fair enough. This. Ah, here's the thing. I'm looking at my own screen now through the phone, and it looks exactly like Mother Gunship. So try and like reload your browser, I think. I'm gonna try and watch some more of it through the thing here. I don't know. The problem is I can't look at Discord right now because I need to Alt-Tab and that crashes the game for some reason. It does look pixelated, I'll give you that. I don't know how much. I guess it all sort of varies. But I will give you that it does look pixelated. Kind of. And it doesn't look like you can... I don't know how to... Like, I'm not very good at describing images, but... It looks like it's kind of pixelated and all that, but it... Again, it doesn't, like... For on my end, it doesn't get in the way of seeing everything you need to see, as it were. If that makes any sense? I don't know. Problem is, you watch 60 FPS 1080p videos on YouTube all the day. Every day. Talk about myself mostly, but you know, other people too. And you look at it. Shite. You look at a stream like this, and it all looks wrong, even if it would be deemed more than acceptable a couple of years ago, so... Yeah. Essentially, we humans are at fault. I'm kidding, obviously. Though, bit of truth in every joke, eh? It's kind of... I do kind of have a point, though. I pat myself on the back a little bit. It's not that the videos are getting better. It's just that... we'll call it an acceptable level of scuffer and leave it there. Yeah, alright. Here's the thing, though. The videos are getting better. It's just that our standards keep getting better all the time as well. And they don't match one another at all times, do they? Because I don't mean about this stream. Like, this is, look, I'll get a better internet connection soon, very soon, as in the next few days, I believe. Should have double the upload. The problem is I have double the upload here, not in my uni city. But I should be able to come here and stream during the weekends and record everything over there. And I think look, it'll take a bit of a while, but that's not due until like the end of next month. Because during the end of next month I'll move back in. So I'll think about that then. But I'll set up like a schedule and try and do like a stream during the weekend. And yeah, this is where you use a grenade. I'll try and do like a stream during the weekend and record everything for the entire week during the few days, or during the work days, basically, right? And potentially take like a Sunday off, or I don't know, maybe even one of the days in uni I'll have to take off due to studying and stuff like that. But yeah, like record stuff during the area scan technology. No, equipment system, power up system. That's not very good, that's not very good, that's not very good, that's not very... I guess I'll go with this. I'm gonna go with the one thing you never use, basically. Which is the map. But where was I going along with this? Yeah, I'll try and get like a schedule, like a proper schedule. Record stuff during the workdays, stream during the weekend, and keep doing that until something miscellaneous happens. You know, thing is, I don't go back home every weekend, so I suppose then we'll miss out on a stream, or I'll try and stream like European Assaults and stuff like that, and strategy games, you know, because I think then I could with those games it doesn't really matter, right? If I put them at 5,000 bitrate or at 1,000 bitrate, they more or less look the same because you're looking at a map. You don't need. You can identify Normandy in MS Paint, right? You don't need 60 FPS 1080p stationary map of Normandy. Cue the jokes, okay? So, you don't know me, yes I do. Fair enough. But yeah, it should be good. Should be relatively good. It's a weird thing though. I know, Samuel. I know. I'm pretty sure I'll eventually have to murder you, but yeah. Always angry all the time. Actually, Doom Guy's a Rage Marine. Just people don't understand that. They don't watch 40k. I don't care that much about 40k. I don't read 40k, but he's essentially a Rage Marine. Always angry all the time. Yeah, come on, come on. Let me out. I know what you're saying. You want me to repair the facility and bring back more demons to all intents and purposes, but no. Oh, by the way, can I just give a huge shout out to the trailer of Doom 2, which has basically made a parody of the like all-accepting liberal narrative with demons, with the robot in the beginning. As goes, the term demon may be offensive. Try calling them, what was it, like soul challenged or whatever? It's differently abled or it's. Look, it's fucking, yeah. This, see, this is what you should put in video games rather than World War II cyborg lesbians, which we can talk about, and actually we will, at the risk of getting demonetized, because. I don't know, I mean, I don't want to say I called it, but I fucking called it. And it turns out if you pander to an audience that doesn't exist, you will not sail all that well. And it turns out Battlefield 5, surprise, surprise, is not selling all that well. At least in pre-orders, which... I mean, honestly, if pre-orders can just stop, cease to exist, and I think that'd be great. That's obviously not only that. I mean, from a look at this from a different perspective. The competition is stiff. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out, which is threatening to be like the best game, the year of the game of the. I was gonna say the year of the decade. Well, look, in some linguistic situation, that's not even incorrect, but it's threatening to be the game of the decade. And if they release it on PC, God knows what can happen. We can't call him a Rage Marine either. That's offensive. We can call him slightly upset individual. The term rage is actually very offensive, you know. It describes a state of slight upsetness. Yes, I'm sure that's exactly what it says in the dictionary. So the slightly upset Marines, the Trigger Marines. Whoa, 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 whoa! Get off this platform. Cease and desist. Yeah. But here's the thing, it's not only that, you put it between, like, very stiff competition, and yeah, it will impact sales. Here's the thing, though. Never has this argument been brought up in Battlefield 4, in Battlefield 3, in Battlefield Hardline, you get the point. Every other Battlefield game has released, more or less, at the same time as a Call of Duty. I've never noticed this. I swear to God, I've played through the game... Played through this bit like 6 or 7 times, I've never noticed this. Mind you, in the space of like 2 years, but still. Just let me go. I was going something, and I was going somewhere, and then Samuel interrupted me. Micro missiles, micro missiles. See, now you can finish the game with this gun. Guys, use this for bigger bosses, use this for regular enemies, and all you need is ammo. Now, you can't literally finish the game with just this, but it's mainly because of the lack of ammo. What? No! Get off! Yeah. Ah, yes, there was this, but I need to saw off the hand from the thing. Yeah, from the knight. Is that a knight? I forget the names of all these. It's okay. Where was I going with Battlefield 5? Yes, it's a very interesting topic to me, and not for what you might expect to be the reasons of like, ooh, I want to spread my political bullshit. No. Honestly, everyone wants to do that nowadays, and it's both good and bad. Like the more conscious about politics the society gets, I think ultimately that's good. In my modest, completely irrelevant opinion, it's better than indifference. I think I shun at indifference towards politics, right? Because it's like, oh, I don't care about that. Well, do you care about living? You know, your life? Congratulations, you don't care about politics. It's way too important not to care about. Let's go back to the definition of what you mean by politics, but you know. Okay, I'm not talking about just voting. I'm talking about the overall democratic process, yeah, and responding to stuff that happens around you and stuff like that. But this was not the point of this conversation or this monologue. It was something else. I'm going to need your hand. Thank you very much. Ever so slightly upset. Ever so slightly upset individual. Beauty. So look at that. That is gorgeous. He is floating a little bit, but it's gorgeous. And then we put the hand there. Never before has that argument been brought up, though, has it? Because it always released at the same time as some major, other major developers released their stuff. I'm not sure. What about GTA 5? I need to look this up because I don't exactly remember. But did it release at the same time as GTA 5 for the PC or GTA 5 for the console? Was there a Battlefield release at the same time? And did it suffer? Don't count Hardline because Hardline is terrible. But trust me, I've played Hardline. There was like 2 redeeming features in Hardline, and the rest of it is terrible, maps included. There's no. Hardline's not good. There's a reason nobody plays Hardline as well. I think that was one of my actually biggest problems with Hardline. I picked it up during what I believe was like a free weekend. And there was hardly anyone playing. There were like 3 servers in total in Europe. I think I moved on to the American server later. Could you even do that? I don't think you could do that. I think I tried to move on to another server and see if people play there, and it wasn't like ridiculously late in the evening because, you know, 3 AM Europe doesn't tend to have the most what's the word I'm looking for? Populated servers ever. It was in the afternoon. You'd expect it to be reasonably popular at that time. That fell. It was like 3 servers. So yeah, Battlefield Hardline. Hardlined. It's terrible. Don't pick it up. Don't look at it. It's awful. Like other Battlefield releases, even though they were pretty much carbon copies of Battlefield 3 for the longest time, never has this argument been made. Except now, because surely it's not the thing staring us at the face. I don't like quoting Shakespeare and getting my profession involved in my YouTube career, but the lady doth protest too much, and no, I'm afraid it is the obvious. That's not what she says. She does say the lady doth protest too much, but she also says something else. And basically, in the poetic way, she says it's the thing staring you at the face, right? It's not anything else. Fascinating character, by the way, has like a total of 10 lines in the play, but is like very interesting at the same time. It's difficult to pull that off. At any rate, Shakespeare's mother, for those interested, which is like literally no one, but okay. I can go through here now. No. Speeding through Doom, he says, walking 10 minutes around the fucking level. I'm looking mostly at chat. This is horrible. This is equally horrible. This is now slightly less horrible. How are you not dead? Grenade. Okay. Will he live? Yes, he will. Okay. Still haven't died. This was going somewhere. Here on we explain poetry during streams. Look. It's a play, not poetry. I slightly... does this look wrong to anyone else? There's a floating demon hovering in the air above me whose abilities are not that of flight. I believe he spawned on top of my head. Also, stream rules, you say I haven't died yet, you died a second afterwards. I was just testing. I was literally just testing whether the rule applies in Doom 2. Yes, it does. We explain poetry on stream. Look, it's good poetry, though. It's not poetry, but it's good, though. It's pretty good. I won't explain to you the Tempest, because I have no fucking idea what's going on there. I think Northernlion... Look, Northernlion did this too, so I get a pass, right? At least for one bit during the stream. It's like, I read the Tempest, and it's like, you see these words in front of me? I understand them, but I have no idea what's going on here. It's like that. The Tempest is beyond a mortal's comprehension, I'm afraid. Other stuff, though, like King Richard, Merchant of Venice, yeah, sure. That's easy. We can talk about that. That's easily understandable. Has some quirks and depth to it. Has uniqueness, certainly. Yeah, that's good. That is good. That is right, proper good. That is. But Merchant of Venice. Nah. Nothing to see there. Oh, sorry, not Merchant of Venice. Tempest. Nothing to see there. I'm just testing. Oh, sure, you're not. Shit, you were just testing. Yup. It's legit. Look. Whoops. Look, we're not gonna... We'll just call it... Yeah. You say it's not, I say it is. Let's just say that I was testing and leave it at that. Oh, at any rate. Where was I? So yeah, the Tempest, but before the Tempest there was something else. I was talking about Battlefield. Nobody brings this example up for any other. Nobody brought any of this up for other titles, and apparently, and this is what, excuse my wording, YouTube, but this is what triggered me the most. I don't like the word triggered. Like it's offensive, and I don't like it. Yeah, I guess I am joking. You stupid grunt, you. I'm looking for the word brute. Yeah. Fair, it's the same thing. What is this? Plasma gun? Yes, I remember it well. This was going somewhere, and I will finish this Battlefield train of thought eventually, soon as I stop taking pickups that are kind of very fun. I need another arm for this, don't I? No. Maybe not. That is... is golden. You get used to the killing if you play the game multiple times. You get used to the melee and how brutal it is and how gory it is. And then occasionally you'll get one of those rare melee kills, you know? Like tearing his leg off and shoving it down his throat. See, occasionally you will get that, and you will be very pleasantly surprised by what you're looking at. You kill someone with a chainsaw relatively like recently, not recently, soon, yes, that's what I'm looking for. Soon, I should kill someone with a chainsaw. Hey, look at that, we found a secret, even though I said I wasn't going to find any, probably. Not to actual effort, but to lack of capability, I suppose. Right, we tear this out, which I can only assume is... So let's not talk about that, okay? Let's not talk about that. See, that one I will attribute to... that one to my own incompetence, okay? There we go.
Demonic threat reduced by 25%.
No, was that... What did I hear just in the background? Look, we don't talk about what you just heard in the background. It's a long story that I will tell as soon as I finish the Battlefield train of thought, which is taking a surprising 40 minutes or so, I can only imagine. I don't know how long I've been streaming for, but it felt like 40 minutes. So yeah, here's the thing. What triggers me the most, forgive my wording, YouTube, is that not wanting cyborg cripples painted in Scottish war armor, or war paint, sorry, fighting in German tanks against British tanks, dragging Russian anti-aircraft guns, firing at infantry while on the move, is now extremism. So not wanting that, and wanting a somewhat sensible World War II game is now extremism. See, you don't want that? Well, you want extreme, and this is, I swear to God, this is the wording by not just one people, but like several people defending Battlefield at this point. I'll point to Angry Joe. Is extreme historical realism. Okay, let's so now I'm gonna throw down some knowledge on you, okay? In every video game made since the 1980s or 1970s or whatever the first fucking Pac-Man came out, there you had to strike a balance. You could argue this for Pac-Man as well, but this would be going a little bit into depth. But for every video game since fucking Pac-Man, you had to strike a balance. What is this balance, Juggernaut? The balance is between realism and fun and fantasy elements, right? Unrealistic elements, which are inherently very often fun. Why? Well, this is not a new thing. This is not a new problem people are dealing with, the invention of video games. This is a problem people have been dealing with since the invention of the written word and since the invention of stories. How so, Juggernaut? Well, let me explain. In order for something to be a good fantasy, it needs to be realistic. Why? Here's the problem. You cannot write with 100% fiction. Fiction, by necessity and by laws of logical thinking and reason, has to be governed by something that makes sense. Has to be governed by realism. I'll give you an example. Let's use Game of Thrones. Dragons in that universe would not be unusual if everything else was fantasy. But instead, the Game of Thrones, both the video games and the books and the TV series and everything, is grounded in realism. It depicts very realistic problems of a medieval-esque world. It depicts characters with their flaws. It depicts people. It depicts political situations, which are, again, very realistic. On top of that, when you add one or two fantasy elements, on top of this dark, gritty realism, you end up with, a good fiction. Warhammer 40k. On top of a very realistic problem that the empire you're in is constantly under siege. On top of human problems, morale, these stories of civilians and everyday life, you put fantasy elements. On top of this gritty, dark realism, on top of this, sure enough, it is fiction, but on top of this, which is logical and makes sense, you put in magic, you put in chaos gods, which again, are grounded in realism, because there is a formula to how this chaos works, okay? There is a formula to it. Oh, just don't like women and Scottish people, you goddamn racist. Yep, essentially, that's exactly what I'm explaining. Oh, this is fun. I'm gonna stream more often. Here's the thing, though. On top of all of this, you put in magic, which is again governed by some laws of science and some rational, reasonable thinking. This is how it works. This is how creating universes work. This is how creating literature works. This is how the human brain works. Okay? Because you cannot create anything if it has no elements of realism. Okay? Well, you could argue, well, in Battlefield 5, the element of realism is the fact that, your characters die, and the fact that it is fighting, and, it is a conflict, and there's... Well, no. Again, balance. It's not one smidgen of realism, as in everyone is mortal, which I would argue against, because I saw the fucking trailer. Not everyone in there is mortal, trust me. The protagonist got shot through the fucking heart, and is running around the battlefield 30 seconds later. Hey, you're running around the battlefield. Haha. Reference. Okay. I suppose that would be a pun, wouldn't it? But yeah, this is... balance. Balance between the two. You made a Fortnite trailer, right? Replace the World War II tanks with, slightly more cartoony World War II tanks. Replace the fucking... characters' uniforms with slightly more colourful skins and whatnot, and you have yourselves a Fortnite trailer through and through. Minus the building, which they, can or cannot show. It doesn't really... Could or could not show. It doesn't really matter, right? It's still a Fortnite trailer. You've made a fucking Fortnite trailer. and you expect people to pre-order a World War II game based off a Fortnite trailer. Furthermore, the marketing was terrible, I'll give you this. But the marketing was terrible because you're pandering to an audience that doesn't play video games, maybe even doesn't exist. Right? I mean, not in reality, right? Maybe they exist on Reddit, maybe they exist on Tumblr, but in reality, nah. See, here's the thing. Most people are sensible. Yes, you can quote me to that. Most people are sensible, and they're not extremists. Most people that, you know, Tumblr and Reddit depicts don't exist. Sure, there's a bit of that here and there, but not to the extreme in which they are depicted and in which they depict themselves within these social media platforms. You are pandering to people that don't exist. And I read a very, very sort of right-wing comment that I really, really liked. I don't want to say I endorse this statement, but I found it hilarious and I want to repeat it to you. See, EA's World War II was cybernetic cripples in Scottish war paints running around the battlefield. Female cripples running around the battlefield on the Western Front. Our version of World War II was Hitler did nothing wrong. Okay? I don't endorse this statement. I'm quoting it. I'm reading it off of somewhere. Okay? Well, I'm not reading it, but I remembered it by heart. I'm not endorsing this, but it's fucking hilarious. And it's mostly true. For a lot of people. And here's the thing. It's not about what you think it is. It's not about that. It's about the fact that we wanted more elements of how the fuck do I get into this room, seriously? It doesn't matter at this point. I mean, follow the enemies. They will lead you to the key, one would assume, yes? Somewhere in this direction? Potentially? No? I need a blue key to enter that thing. Where the fuck do I find it? Because we wanted, and for years we've been asking for this, we wanted a more realistic depiction of World War II. Not Johnny Moe, the American hero slaughtering thousands upon thousands of SS children. And yes, the SS was primarily composed out of children by the time the Americans got involved in the war. Or by the time the Americans were fighting the SS on the Western Front. You can look it up, like something like 60% of the SS were mobilized children. And the Americans were given the order to not take any SS prisoners. See, that's what we want. We want a picture, or a scene, like No Russian from, was it Modern Warfare 1 or Modern Warfare 2? Yeah. Where you go and you do something despicable, right? And you hate the character, and you hate the people for doing this. But in this case, it will be the Americans doing it, right? Why? Because they fucking did. And sure enough, at the beginning of the game, you can have a bunch of SS officers executing Polish children or Jews or whatever, it doesn't matter, just to get the message across that they are the evil ones, okay? Fair enough, yeah. I won't argue with that. Sure, of course. But you show this depth and this realism when it comes to the story. Not fucking Fortnite, you know? And even this is apparently considered, you know, wanting extremism. Okay, even if you believe that is extremism, there's another route to take here, which doesn't involve itself with fictional reality. Or it doesn't have anything to do with the two. Which is, where the fuck do I find a blue key card? Let's study the map for a little bit. What is that? I don't know what that is. It's gonna turn out that I already have the blue key card, it just wouldn't open because it didn't stand in front of the door for long enough. No, never mind, found it here. Alright. There's this other route to take, and that is you've shown us nothing, and you want us to pre-order the game. So, what did you see out of that trailer that could potentially pique your interest? And this is a genuine question. Female protagonist. This audience doesn't exist. Right? We talked about this. This audience that will buy a game exclusively because it's a progressive game with a female protagonist doesn't exist. Case in point, fucking Alien. Fucking Tomb Raider. Are you going to tell me that we are less progressive now than we were 10 years ago? Or than we were 20 years ago? Tomb Raider was phenomenal. Tomb Raider's protagonist was exclusively female. Right? And was everything you could want. Apart from a cripple, you know? And it sold phenomenally well. Why? Because it was a good game. And because the female protagonist made sense. Right, she was a good character. She was not a good character because she was a female. She was a female and a good character. This is what you need to build. The fact that they're female, or even the fact that they're a cripple, needs to be a caveat, if you will. An addition. An unimportant, unmentioned, unfocused bonus to the character, which is supposed to be a good character, a well-written-out character, well-thought-out character. And not just have that missing limb, or sexuality, or gender, or whatever be the focal point of it. Because that doesn't exist. There is not a single person in the world whose main feature is their gender. These people do not exist, right? And here, that's the focus. You don't get to know the character. You get to know the fact that she's a cripple and the fact that she's female. You don't get to know anything else about this character. It doesn't matter. We're talking about maybe in the story, yes, but you didn't show it. Okay? We're talking about what you showed me that made me want to pre-order the game. Nothing. Right? You showed me literally every tuft of grass exploding around the protagonist, Call of Duty style, which by the way didn't do all too well either. And then that's about it. Right, that is about it. That is what you showed me. Everything crumbling to dust and exploding around the character. Good fucking job. Now, I'm sold. I don't know about everyone else, but clearly you're not making pre-order sales the way you should be. And, you know, okay. Shite. Nice stream, and all I hear about is SS killing Poles Fortnite. Where is the damn blue keycard? Sorry, I didn't, the thing didn't, yeah, I missed the comments for the last 5 minutes. Give me a second to catch up. It's been like this all time. I mean, yes, I won't even fucking deny it. It's been this. But what else you want me to talk about? You want me to talk about the fact that I can't find a keycard? Found the keycard, by the way, so sod off. What you want me to talk about? Doom? I did talk about Doom. I did talk about Doom for like half an hour. Doom's good. Doom's very good. I talked about Doom 2 too. And talk about I'm gonna play through this, and by the time I finish it, very possibly I'll be. Well, Doom 2 won't be out, but I'll be sort of ready for Doom 2. And talk about old play, very old play, like Renaissance old play. You know, talked about The Tempest a little bit, and a little bit about Hamlet. But yeah. How the hell did that get involved? Well, the lady doth protest too much is something that came to mind, and I sort of derailed the conversation in that general direction. I'll talk about Battlefield 5 though, mate, because yeah, it's well, oh, for fuck's sake! I take a second to look at chat, and what is quite literally the toughest enemy at this point in the game slams me in the back. Sod off. There you go. 5 HP for melee killing you. Really? Alright. Open. Can't open because there's enemies, right? I think so, yeah. But you know what? Feel free to suggest a topic, because you up until this point were very happy to go along this train of thought with me about realism and fiction, and it was a damn good conversation, if I can say so myself, and pander my own ego for a few seconds, because I think I make a good point. And sales figures tend to agree. I mean, I'm not saying that's the objective, definitive reason, but, you know, sales figures do seem to suggest there is something oh so definitely, need to go on first, definitely wrong with the way this entire thing is heading. But think about that, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Like, for once, to experience World War II from, like, multiple perspectives, and they said they want to do war stories. I'm like, okay, cool, which means you can put the game quite literally everywhere. You know, do these, like, almost like a series of mini-campaigns, right? Where, for one, you know, for an hour or so, you would be running away and retreating across France, hiding away from Allied air support, right? Because at that point, the Luftwaffe was a mere shadow of its former self, and the soldiers couldn't light a fire in the woods because they'd be pretty much immediately bombed by thunderbolts and stuff like that, because you know, the Luftwaffe had practically no control over the skies above France. So that would be fun, feel that sort of dread and that sort of desperation, and a guy from, like, I don't know, Ukraine or Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia is a really good place to start. That's joined the Wehrmacht. That'd be really good. Hello, I wish I could kill you now, but that would violate the principle of the final boss.
0, 2.
Yeah, that'd be really fun, wouldn't it? Yeah. At any rate, though, it is what it is, I'm afraid. It's, not much else to it. No, it's simple. You know, at the end of the day, they said either accept the way this is going or don't buy it. Guess what we fucking did. That's also, but even then, the way this is going, where is this going? You showed us nothing to get us to buy the game, and supposedly there was a beta that like a couple of people played. With all that, the couple of people with upwards of a few million subscribers on YouTube or a few 100,000 viewers on Twitch or something like that. You know, the creme de la creme of the society, of the streaming society and all that. And supposedly they played the beta and they said the beta was fine. Yeah, the multiplayer was fine. It was fun. Okay, show me. You know what I mean? Like either that or like, here's a good idea to pull the game out of its out of the slump and the just utter black hole that it found itself in. Release like a 24-hour free-to-play open beta, right? Multiplayer exclusive. I don't know, fucking one map and a couple of servers, and have the queue times be ridiculously high. Doesn't matter, because you know you lose too much money doing it. Doesn't matter. But let the community try the game out for the multiplayer, right? And if the multiplayer is really that good, then, you know, yeah, after 24 hours, beta goes down. In, like, 4 weeks, 3 weeks from now, the game's out. You can pre-order it. There you go, you have your sales figures back. But no, the company's currently being run by a dude who created a product out of a long line of successful products based off the whims of his 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, something like that, daughter. Who's never played a Battlefield game in her life. Okay. You sure you want to do that? Alright. You know, don't complain when we don't buy the game. I think that's the biggest kicker, I think, because he said, not just the one guy, but the official statement of Battlefield is, we're fine either which way. She's telling me you're fine with us not buying the game. Okay. Okay. There you go. You ask for it. Ask and ye shall receive. Ooh, yeah, this is really cool. We switch weapons faster now? Yeah, that's very good. That was money well spent. Let me through. At any rate, though, I think that's quite enough Battlefield talk, because we just descended down this line, but it had to be mentioned. It had to be mentioned. I'll just go back to my first statement. Most people are sensible. You know, most people, when it comes to buying games, are rather sensible. This mythical person that doesn't want to buy the game because it has a female protagonist doesn't exist. Right? Who does exist is a person that doesn't want to buy the game because you showed him quite literally nothing other than a Fortnite trailer. And like a couple of minutes of multiplayer footage that don't really show anything. Right? This person exists. The person that doesn't want to buy a game because characters' primary traits don't actually make any sense, and the characters appear to have literally no depth to them other than what's between their legs. This person exists. And I bet you any money, you turn it around the other way, and make a game about a crippled World War II man whose primary trait is that he's heterosexual. That was stupid. Thought I jumped across. And people will not pre-order that game either. Again, most people, most of your consumers are rather sensible. But at any rate, I want to move away from that because that's not exactly mainly what I want to talk about. For the most part. That's not entirely true. I do want to talk about it. I did want to talk about it, but for now, I think that's quite enough of that. So, what now? See, we've what's the word? We've torn apart Battlefield, right? We've torn apart the modern market. Seems like my job here is done, doesn't it? At least a little bit. Here. Yes, there you go. Much better. This is one of those challenges, right? No thanks. Better just streamline the game, basically. Challenges are fun, but you can play them in the arcade mode. And I maybe will. There's nothing else to do. Thing is, very pretty. This is how you become possessed by demons. Start looking at their hieroglyphs and start saying it's very pretty. Now, if you call the line that... onto other matters, like your opinion on Twitch booby streamers or something more PG, like your Total War Warhammer 2 faction choice. We can talk about booby streamers very simply and in one sentence. People want to watch it, people want to record it. Have fun. So I literally have no opinion on that. I have an opinion on that. My opinion is that it's fine. I don't watch it. I don't care much for it. I nearly died. Mind you, not because of that. But there is a market for it. So I don't care. You know, as long as you don't do anything illegal or anything that I would. God below me didn't die. God below me was not indeed killed by the missile. Sorry about that. Like, I genuinely feel the need to apologize for what I just did. That's fine. That's fine. Don't worry. Yes. If the only thing you do is you play a video game with your tits out, fine by me. You know, fine by me. Not my thing, but that's what you want to do. That's the only thing you can do. That's the only thing you want to do. Why should I care? See? Better. Now he's actually dead. Now we can finish the rest of the level. Pro tip of the day, don't melee exploding barrels. That's, not good for your health. Anyway, Total War Warhammer 2, though, faction choice. We can talk about the faction choice. You know how I wanted to play the most? Tomb Kings. You know why I didn't play the Tomb Kings? Don't have the DLC. So, I'm not going to be playing Tomb Kings anytime soon. It's like $15 worth of DLC for what is a sizable amount of content, but it's also $15 more than I'm willing to pay at this time. I'll get that DLC probably when I finish this campaign, and between me and you make a little bit of cash off it. But, you know, yeah, that's oh, I might even play it on stream or on a Let's Play series. But see, by the time I finish Warhammer 2, I'm thinking Stellaris will roll out the new update. And in typical Paradox fashion for Stellaris over the last 2 years or so, they're changing everything all over again. Especially the population system this time. So, it's essentially a whole new game. I can't wait to play. That will be awesome. Stellaris is really, really fun. There's only so many times I can play with the Imperium of Man, though. And the best part of it is, it's different every time due to mechanics. Like, first it was the FTL, then now it's going to be the population system. It's going to make the faction seem very unique all over again. It's not going to be more of the same all over again. But still, like, it's still going to be, for the large part, still going to be a lot of conquest, which tends to be the case when I play with pretty much anything, so thing is, it does get a little bit repetitive just off the thematics of it, I suppose, and the naming system too. It won't be Imperium of Man, but this was not supposed to be Stellaris Stalk. This was supposed to be... I mean, I hit you up with a DLC for Total War 1, so we might be able to have an argument on Total War... We might be able to have an arrangement on Total War 2 DLC. See, here's the thing. And this is not just an arrangement thing, this is not just me bartering or it's totally just me bartering and negotiating. It's not just that, this is I think a good practice, and a very morally okay practice to have. I like how he caresses it before he stomps the shit out of it. I think this is generally a correct practice to have, is that whenever someone gives you something for free, you owe them to at least, you know, if they give it to you for the purpose of making a video, you owe them to make the video on that thing. Or if they give it to you for, you know, no reason whatsoever, you owe them to at least play that game for a little bit. Case in point, I got a honestly not that good horror game yesterday. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna make a video of it later today. The problem is I have, like, exams to prepare for, so it's gonna be a bit of a tight schedule, but it doesn't matter, right? I can't move out of the way, I don't think. This is like a general thing. You owe them to try, and guys over at the developers rather gave me the key for that horror game. I don't quite like it. It's kind of like Slender Man, except they gave you a gun, and the objective of the game is to record the monster for like 30 minutes while it's trying to murder you. It's a difficult game, simply because it's not difficulty you can do anything about. The monster's faster than you. It's just, it's not very good. For the first 20 minutes or so, it is kind of scary. Monster popped out of the woodworks at one point, grabbed me. I was genuinely scared. After recording it for 20 minutes, it was no longer a horror game. It was now a run around the woods with a camera simulator while there's a horny goat chasing you around. Horny with a, you know, as in the characteristic of having horns, not anything else. Okay? We need to get that out of the way. Can I do anything with this? No. So, yeah. It's not that great, but I'll make a video on it because I owe it to the guy that... I think it's one guy that developed it, maybe not. But I owe it to the people or to the person that gave me the key. Plain and simple. And I think this is a good practice to have with pretty much everything. You know, if someone gives you something, you owe them to play or record that. So, I think that answers your question pretty much. Did I say this, but I could be my own worst enemy and my own biggest hypocrite. Did I play... So what was the DLC that you gave me? Was it Dwarves or was it the Skarsnik? It was the Skarsnik DLC, was it? Or did I buy that one for myself and got something else as a DLC? I don't quite remember, to be honest. You're gonna have to remind me. Because I bought some of the DLC. I think I was the one that bought Beastman. Or no, someone gave me Beastman too. Yeah, someone gave me Beastman because I was like, that's the one DLC I'm probably never going to touch. Because it's essentially a Chaos Horde that's fun. I think it's slightly better than Release Chaos, so it wasn't, I don't know. I'm pretty sure someone gave me Beastman. Hey, stay. Oh! Nobody told me there was electricity in the water until I landed in it. But yeah, Wood Elves don't seem that fun. So I'm probably not going to do that. Norsca seems... I have one question about Norsca, and that's how does it respond to the Chaos Invasion? Not the Chaos Horde, the proper Chaos Invasion, because apparently they're not the same for some reason. But when the end times start, how does Norsca respond to that? Is it an ally of the Chaos... of Chaos Undivided, right? Because it's basically Chaos Undivided. Is it an ally of it? Because if it is... I think Norsca is quite fun. I would like to play as one of the allies of Chaos and not have to worry about the end times, but welcome them. You know that meme? I, for one, welcome our new overlords? Yeah, basically that. Yes, the King of the Warlord. Yes, so it was Skarsnik. Did I play as Skarsnik? I don't think so. I don't think I played as Skarsnik. See, I am my own worst hypocrite. I don't think I played as Skarsnik. I didn't play as Skarsnik, but I used some of the units in the pack that was unlocked, didn't I? Because if you bought that DLC and something else, you could have more Regiments of Renown, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it unlocked some Regiments of Renown too, and I used those Regiments of Renown. And also, after a certain amount of turns, the game crashed. For some reason, I lost the save file, and it just wouldn't go past turn like something, I remember. But the good bit was I pretty much, you know, was finished with that campaign in a limited sense, because I pretty much did everything I wanted to do. So yeah. I don't know, I don't want to go into the old world though that much, unless it's Tomb Lords, because Tomb Lords is a new part of the map that's not. It is the old world, but or is that called the new world? I keep mixing the two up. I'm gonna call it the old world from a game release perspective because that's the one we played in first, but I could be mistaken on. For fuck's sake, there is no electricity there that I can see. Don't pick up the haste rune, for fuck's sake, that is stupid. Stupid, that is. Haste rune my ass. That is really messed up, okay? I'll skip on the upgrade too. I think that's wise. No. They come from here, yes they did. Nice. Wow, that is not pleasant. Gimme. Could go down there as well, I suppose. Hello, demons, it's your boy. For real though. Right, stop hitting me with your laser beam bullshit. Ow. Don't you dare. I saw you clipping over the fence. Don't you dare. Avoid that thing like the plague. Got it. Eat some of this. 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 You know, I'm glad the rocket launcher isn't good, because it wasn't good in the original Doom. Took 5 rockets to kill that thing, and it didn't even... Well, no, it took 5 rockets to remove its shield, and at the end it didn't even kill it. So I like that, yeah? Nice touch. Now, is it right for a gun that fires essentially shotgun slugs to be more powerful than a rocket launcher? No, but, Oh, I am terrible at video games! Why did I not use the chainsaw? I had ammo anyway. Why did I... Why was this a thing I did not do? Why did I not take the chainsaw and kill him with that? See, I'm tilting. Yeah, that's it. I'm tilting. I've died 3 times to bullshit, and the 4th time I'm like just going through the entire thing willy-nilly. Now that's the issue. I'm tilting. We need to dial back in and stop tilting. That is what needs to happen. Micro missiles. Micro missiles. Remember micro missiles. Okay. But High Elves. High Elves is what I recorded a few episodes with. Not that it matters, because I could just delete that. Do you want to hear a secret? There's... I'll take it just to be my own worst enemy. You want to hear a secret? There are several series that I tried, recorded a few episodes of, and then deleted. And this is not a case with me, this is a case with most of YouTube. There is stuff that you try and record, and you realize it's not going your way. And it's not entertaining to record, it's not entertaining to watch, it's mostly because it's not entertaining to watch. And there's problems with it, right? Several series like that. There is an entire Fallout series that I scrapped. I say entire series, I wouldn't have scrapped it, it was an entire series, but it was like 7 or 8 videos of Fallout that I thought I would record, but it just wasn't happening. Oh, really? Not dead yet? It could happen for several reasons. It could happen due to technical difficulties. It could happen due to simply the character not being what you want him to be in RPGs, and not working out, not making much sense. There's a difference between playing for yourself and playing like an RPG on YouTube. Everything else is more or less the same, right? You just provide commentary, you provide banter, but RPGs is very different. Like recording RPGs and role playing throughout the series, that's an art. That is very different, because you need to keep in mind the narrative, the coherence of the story. You need to... That's different. It also depends on the RPG, quite often. Because in many of the role-playing games, quote-unquote, you don't have a lot of role-playing. So it doesn't really make that much sense. But Fallout... Elder Scrolls, stuff like that, you need to keep in mind a narrative. To have it coherent, and to have it make sense, and to have it, all that good stuff. RPGs are the most difficult to record. Definitely. By far. This is easy. Load up Doom, talk about bullshit over it, kill demons, try not to suck at the game too bad. Easy. Live streaming an RPG, though, you can't do that. I mean, literally speaking, you can, but you can't roleplay and live stream an RPG. Just doesn't make sense. First of all, you can't talk to chat. That's the first thing. So, what's the point of live streaming it? But it's difficult, man. That is an art form in and of itself. It's mostly due to the pacing too, because here's the thing: with RPGs, you often like decide in the middle of a quest to go back and sell your loot, which makes sense, because when you're remembering your experience and when you're thinking about your experience, you don't really think about the fact that you went back to sell your loot. You just remember the important bits. You remember the quest. You remember how your character in your head responded to the quest. If you're role playing, if not, then you remember how you actually responded to the quest, and you remember all these good stuff, right? When recording it for YouTube, you don't get that luxury. The people watching the video remember everything, right? They don't pick out bits from episode 1 and episode 3, they see everything in order. And when you're watching it, it's a completely different experience. Which is why it's often very fun to both watch and play an RPG at the same time, right? Maybe with a little bit of difference between, like, watching someone go through the quests you already did, because having it run exactly parallel one to another can be a bit frustrating. It can ruin some of the experience too, but for the most part, you know, it's very fun. Heat Blast Stun Bomb, Tactical Scope. I don't want a Tactical Scope. I guess I'll take the Stun Bomb. I love how a mildly upset person punches that thing. But to answer the question more directly now, yes. And whenever I get donated a game, I am owed a video on it. Right, I owe that person a video on it, or a series on it. Series if it's fitting for a series, video if it's just, you know, guess what, video if it's not. Rocket jump, rocket jump, rocket jump! Rocket jumping's not as... Did I just blow myself up? Yes, I did. Rocket jumping not as effective as I remember it to be. It was mostly a Quake thing, though, wasn't it? I say mostly. It was a Quake thing, period. God, Quake was awesome. Anyone remember Quake? That was... Damn, that was awesome. It was one of those rare games where you would find demons fighting each other. Oh, not demons. Well, yeah, I suppose they were demons in a way, weren't they? There was all sorts of bears and knights and boars and whatever. Pigs and stuff like that. It was a different time. Stuff like that was nuanced back then. Like fighting a giant boar which can shoot missiles and lasers out of its arse was very unusual at the time. Nowadays, it's like, it needs to be the most Lovecraftian and eldritch horror imaginable, and I will still see it as meek, but it will suffice. A case in point could be that that game that I received yesterday. It's raw footage, by the way. You'll see a video on it come up probably today. Not today, then tomorrow. Ah, God, kill it! Lovely. The monster in that game doesn't look bad. It doesn't look particularly great either. It's like, okay. Graphical fidelity is not really good enough to make it scary, so. Scary only when you can't see it, when you can see its eyes in the middle of the forest somewhere. Then it's scary. Then it is sort of scary, but until then, nah, not really. Oh, sorry, after that, when he approaches you, again, first few times maybe. Otherwise, not really. Did I jump down the wrong... Yes, I did. That's fine. We can climb up this. Yes, level designers thought of idiots like me and said, you know what, he may jump where he's not supposed to. Let's give him a quick way back up. You know what, you do realise you could have gone up here from the start. Yes and no.
Stop. The hell energy is
I want to go through the game.
The filters.
Well, you said you would owe people who gave you X item to use it, but you didn't mention if you wanted gifts or if that feels like a chore most of the time.
Ah, that is actually a very, very good question. Thank you. It's inevitable that eventually, sometimes it will feel like a chore. Raw footage feels a little bit like a chore because the game's not very good, right? Between me and you, I can't full-heartedly recommend that you pay... What is he asking for, like $8 or something like that for this game, or €8 for this game? €4, maybe. 8, a little bit too much. Is it really that much of a difference? I think it is. I think it is. Depending on you know, your economic situation, I think it is. But if you don't care about it, then, you know, obviously pay whatever you want. It inevitably will feel like a chore. However, I am not in a position where I receive stuff all the goddamn time, right? I'm not in that position. I do recognize that a lot of people, especially the more popular guys, get given keys all the time. Not from their community, mind you, hell, even from their community, but from the game developers. Especially small indie developers that are bombarding Markiplier and people like him to play their games. And at this point, it's... for a lot of those games, it is literally impossible to fit into the schedule. Often, the game is not good enough. Sometimes it's really good, don't get me wrong. Sometimes this is great indie games that I had the pleasure of testing out. Sometimes the game's just not very good, and even if it is, it's often impossible to fit into the schedule of a popular YouTuber. The same goes for pretty much everyone, right? Let's say I have, like, several exams that I need to do, and I get given, like, 3 or 4 keys from indie developers and stuff like that. It's literally impossible for me to do those videos then and there. I even have a case where I couldn't make a video on a game that that a guy often gave me, like, he wanted my input on it. I co-developed this game. I'm joking, but like he constantly was asking for input. He was asking for advice, and he wanted to make a really good game. And I think it was like mostly a one-guy project, but he had help from outside a little bit here and there. It was mostly one guy that made it. So yeah, I literally couldn't make a video on it because I'd need to play that game for like a few days non-stop in order to be relatively decent at it and to cover all the mechanics and then make a video on it. I just couldn't fit it in, right? And the game had problems with explaining stuff. It just didn't do that. I mean, you could clearly see that to this guy, all of this made perfect sense. Someone just picked it up, it didn't make much sense. Right? And to put it as sort of a caveat on top of all of that, the game was really difficult too. And I'm happy to see that he did make a little bit of money off it. It didn't explode on Steam, unfortunately for him, for predictable reasons, I feel like. It's okay with having a high learning curve, but you need to make the game accessible, you know, to everyone. You need to be able to see what's going on, and there was tough competition for that type of game too. It was like a tycoon game, basically. Right? And he was constantly like asking me about input and asking for advice whether you should do this or that, and then like modes and all that sort of stuff. And I helped as much as you know, as much as I could. Sorry, I need to close the window because someone. Actually, I was gonna say someone's dragging something outside. That's not a dragging noise. I have no idea what was happening outside in the yard, but yeah, something's happening outside in the yard. At any rate, like that was, I helped as much as I could, but you just couldn't fit a video in, and it does feel like a chore then. To you know, long story short, right? It does feel like a chore most of the time. Absolutely not. Like most of the time, absolutely not. Occasionally, yes. Occasionally, it'll have to, especially if it's not a good game or you're super busy. It's inevitable. However, make no mistake, it makes it no more or less appreciated. Because here's the thing, you don't know. As a game developer, as a donator, as whatever. You simply don't know whether that person is going to like the game, whether that person's going to cover the game, whether you're going to look at the game even. You simply don't know. Okay, this is a chance you take. And this is why I say to most game developers, it's okay to try and pester Markiplier to play your game for like hours upon hours every day. It's good because if he plays your game, you've succeeded as a company, right? You're done. But give the other guys a chance too. Give smaller channels a chance too, because they can fit it in, and I'm pretty sure they'll appreciate it more because they'll get to actually see the game and not have 20 different keys given to them on a regular basis. And it's not just me that's saying this. This is the best part about this entire monologue. It's the thing is, it's him saying it too, and it's other prominent developers and prominent content creators saying, you know, it's fine to give me a key, but give the smaller guys a shot too. You know, they can do really, really well despite everything and anything. It makes no difference. They can do your game justice. So give them a chance. Just give people a chance, you know, and accept that not everyone will be into it, and not everyone will get the chance to try it. Same goes for gifts and stuff like that. Now, do I want gifts? There's the expression, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? It's true. It's oh so very true. Yes, and it would be insincere of me to say no. It really would. It would be completely insincere of me to say no. Everyone wants gifts. It's free stuff. There is no scenario in which you say no to free stuff. And, well, okay, I'm over-exaggerating a little bit. There are a few. But hell, you know, even then, hold on, did I not? I was supposed to do something else in the room. Or a door open. No, a door opened, fine. Sorry, there you go. But, I don't know. It's an interesting question, definitely, and it's often on a case-to-case basis, but in general, I think everyone, myself included, is highly appreciative of all gifts, and in whatever shape or form that they may come. So yeah, that's about it. That's about the answer to this inquiry. So, most of the time, it doesn't feel like a chore. Definitely not. There you go. That's about it. I think also you need to have perspective. Yeah. That if someone gives you something, whatever it is, it has a certain value, and you need to understand that there are many, many people in the world that need that amount of value in either raw money or anything, really. It doesn't really matter. But there is a certain amount of people that don't have that money and would use it for food or basic survival or whatever. Okay, $20 is not the biggest amount of money in the world. Or what's the price of a what's it called? Oh god, push him out of the way. Of a DLC in Warhammer, like $15 usually. It's not the greatest amount of money in the world, but for a lot of people, it's a substantial amount, depending on where they live. They're not in the US or Western Europe. For a lot of people, that's a substantial amount of money, and hell, even in the US for some people it is, but you know, in general. It is a very substantial amount of money that they work their butts off to earn. I'll give you an example. I had a job before enrolling into university. It was teaching English, and I think I talked about this. And I'm very proud of the work I did, even though it helped the students practically not at all. Like, to certain students it did, but it was mostly because of the work they did on their own. And this is what I kept repeating to them. You can't learn a language by listening to me tell you something 20 minutes a day. Or talking with me 20 minutes a day. Right? This is, you cannot do this. because effectively the lesson time is 20 minutes. Officially, it's slightly over 25, but you have your outro segment, which is the same for exactly every person all the time, and you have the intro segment, which is for no apparent reason other than companies' robotic stupidity and Japanese inability to understand that not everything is a factory. I'm not talking about Japanese, the culture, I'm talking about Japanese companies most of the time, that not everything is a factory. It doesn't help. But completely besides the point, I taught English, and like the fee for one lesson was essentially like $1.50, right? So it's $1.50 per lesson, plus bonus. Well, bonuses like tips? No, there were no tips. But the bonus is like, if you complete a certain amount of lessons, you get like a $10 to $15 bonus. If during a month you complete a certain amount of lessons, you get like a $100 bonus or whatever. So yeah, with bonuses, it was around like $300 per month. Okay, if you worked at it as a part-time job, and if you weren't like really serious about it all too much, you know, like if you do it occasionally in the evening, maybe a couple lessons in the morning, and you didn't really treat it like a job, you treat it like have a conversation with this guy for a little bit of money. Right, fair enough. But it puts some perspective, because you're dedicating a substantial amount of time, even though it's not hard work, you're dedicating a substantial amount of time to earning a little bit of money, you know? And it gives you perspective. So it now gives me perspective that when I buy like a $30 game or something, I'm like, hold on, that's like, you know, 2 weekends, or like that's Saturday and Sunday, or maybe even, you know, it depends on how much, how many lessons you book and how many people book your lessons. That's occasionally like a couple of days, or like maybe even a week or so, maybe even more occasionally. You know, it depends on the season and whatnot. It depends on how good you are, really. Of work, of like full-time almost work, of like several 5, 6, 8 hours a day. So it gives perspective. It's a shit-paying job. Well, the reason I did it is because you needed practically no qualifications other than sounding British enough, and you know, it was a sort of, you can quit at any time you want. There is no contract, there is no obligation whatsoever, and it helped. You know, it paid for some stuff here and there, and I had the free time to do it. You know, I absolutely did. It was in the break season. So it was like a couple of months of literally staying at home doing nothing. I was like, might as well get a part-time job, you know? Mostly for the experience of working for someone rather than the actual cash, but it you know, it gives perspective. So, to that extent, every time someone gives you something, you need to have that perspective. I think you need to have that perspective that this is someone's hard-earned cash in whatever value proposition that they decided to give to you, and they didn't need to. You know, there is no obligation to. And same goes for actually watch time and stuff like that too. Like, to me, it's amazing that I have a relatively good watch time on my videos. I don't have a lot of views, obviously. I'm not the most popular guy on the fucking internet, in case you couldn't tell. But I have relatively good watch time, so I'm very grateful for time is money, right? The people spend their days and spend their hours with me blabbering on in the background. Kind of like right now, kind of, isn't it, right? But yeah, it's especially the people that like are quiet and don't really say anything and just, you know, more or less regularly watch these videos, because there's a different sort of gratitude that you get to them. Because obviously you're very grateful to patrons and stuff, that people that directly financially support you and stuff like that. That's the obvious, right? But have perspective for those that you don't really see, and the vast majority of people you don't really see, because it's like what, like minuscule. That's a dangerous question to ask. Well, you know, it is and it isn't. It's a minuscule percentage of people that actually comment on your videos. It's an even more minuscule percentage of people that you interact with, and you know, the vast majority of your audience is actually just quietly listening in the background. And have my sort of general advice for everyone is have perspective on that from both ends of the spectrum, and be grateful. You know, I think I definitely am. I think I definitely am. Now, could I be doing more to show my gratitude? You can always be doing more to show your gratitude, obviously. But that's again, that's a different thing. Showing it and then feeling it not intrinsically linked. But yes, do I want gifts to that extent? Yeah, of course I do. Who doesn't, right? Who doesn't? I think even if I think this might be a bit obvious, but I think even the people like even if you don't play a game that someone gives you, or you don't get a chance to test it out, or if it's X gift like you said, like, anything along those lines, even if you don't get a chance to use it or appreciate it or do a video on it or whatever, I think you still. I'm pretty sure you still appreciate it and want it, if for nothing else than the opportunity to do it, right? And this mostly counts if you're like a game developer looking to donate keys to people and stuff like that, more than ooh, quad damage. Yeah, this is the gun to use with quad damage. More than community members and fans and stuff like that. Fans. Adele has fans. I don't. YouTubers don't. Not really. So we came up with that to bolster our own egos and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. To seem more important than we are, this is. I guarantee you, this is the case. And this is we can talk about this too. So we've descended down this line of conversation now. You're gonna hear a lot of people, and it's a certain subtype of content creator, right? The one that likes to brag. We all know this guy. There's a very specific actually guy that likes to do this, and has been rather controversial as of late. He likes to brag, I have the most popular this video, or I have the most viewed that video, or whatever. They like to brag a stupid amount about this, and they say, well, I have, 2,000 subscribers, or 2,000 viewers, or 2 million viewers. Doom, yes. Well, Square 20, I don't think I've seen you, around these parts, shall we say, recently. But yes, this is Doom with two U's, Doom. But where was I? Like they like to brag. I have like 2 million subscribers. No, you have 2 million accounts following you. However, how many of those are active, I don't know, and it's mostly children. The people that brag, it's mostly children. So no, you don't have 2,000 people, or 2 billion, or 2 million people following you. Well, hello and welcome. Hello and welcome indeed. Oh god. What is that thing called? I forgot. Ah, but I've been saving this. What do you mean I can't kill him with that thing? Oh, for fuck's sake. It was gonna be so good. It was gonna be perfect. I was gonna... Run. Run! Find health. Rockets. Yes. As the Red Army says, the rockets are always ready. Is it Red Army? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Red Army. I don't have the... Oh, yeah, you're exactly what I needed at a time like this. Actually, you might be exactly what I needed, because I need health. There you go. I haven't finished it in something. I will get to you. I will get to you in a second. Bear with me. I can't look at chat while I'm doing this, because unfortunately don't have the overlay for chat. Oh shit. I need to find a way to put an overlay on top of... Because I have the overlay for the stream, it's just not working right now because I haven't set it up properly on this. Because we had a little bit of a technical difficulty when starting this stream, in that I couldn't record the way I wanted to record. I couldn't... Well, first of all, I couldn't Alt-Tab because apparently it uses too many resources to stream Doom at 100 and something FPS. So I needed to lower down the bitrate a little bit, and I needed to not Alt-Tab because otherwise the game would crash. But also I wanted to record the specific window, and it wouldn't let me do that, so I needed to record the entire screen, and it's a long, tragic story of unfortunate mishaps and all that. Okay, I think I can give it a break here and read now. Do you have the Gauss cannon? Not yet. Not yet. I picked up the double barrel shotgun, and I'll pick up the Gauss cannon relatively soon, I think. If I remember correctly. See, I finished the game once, and I've played through a good chunk of it, like 4 or 5 times, maybe more, I don't know. But this was in 2016 and in 2017. I haven't played the game in a while, so the main thing I've forgotten is where to go and where to find stuff. That's the only sort of issue that I have. But I remember the enemies, I remember the weapons, I remember how to deal with most situations. I haven't died that often, as I'm sure people in the chat will attest to. Yes, I have. Well, it's like there were 3 or 4 suicide jumps into electricity and other bullshit. When you fall down the elevator, go to the front wall. Oh, right now? Is it right now? I promise nothing because I don't remember when you pick up the Gauss cannon. And I know you can pick it up in several various places on the map. Or in the game. I'd like that armor up there, though, if at all possible. Ah, see, I'd like that armor. Why, is this as far as the elevator will go? What useless fucking elevator. There we go. Apparently it's not that useless because it got me the armor. Hey. So I need to go up. Okay. No, later. Okay. Fall down the elevator. It's when you... Okay, that was a weird graphical glitch. So it's when you get up there and you get into an elevator and then you fall down said elevator because what comes up must come down, yes? I seem to recall a sequence of events going like that. I'm not quite sure, but... At any rate, we were talking about gifts and how much people, you know, streamers appreciate them and do they want them and whatnot because it creates a sense of obligation and you need to play that or you need to utilize that gift because it's mostly like game copies and stuff like that. If it's money, it's very simple, right? But if it's CD keys and game copies and stuff like that. So yeah, I think for the most part, it's often very... Up here, yes. I think very often people have this false sense of, can I go up again? You know? No. That would be a no. No, come on. No, don't do this to me. Up. Ascend, you lift me up. Well, not much farther than you should get it yet, basically. Okay. Cool. It's up that thing, isn't it? I now remember you need to get up these things and... Close. Close. I'll wait for it to come down, because I'm not sure I can make that. I would feel rather stupid if I were to go there and not be able to catch it, but I'm pretty sure I need to get up that thing. Where was I? So yeah, I think that's all fine and dandy, but I think people often create this false sense of grandeur about them on Twitch and on YouTube and stuff like that. So, I'm popular and I'm this and I'm that. And now you're a dude that's been, for the most part, incredibly lucky and You owe everything you have to the people that watch your channel to show some appreciation for that. And no, you are not God, right? So ground yourself in reality, yeah. And to that extent, I think that ties into the entire appreciation thing and gifts. And also, it is one. I shoot, yes.
Where are you from? America, Britain? I don't know.
Well, I sound like I'm from Britain, yes, but I'm actually from Serbia, in Eastern Europe. Well, Southeastern Europe. But it's not that I sound like that. Apparently I don't shoot, okay. I remember. I remember, just give me a... No, yes. Yes, I underestimate the power of double jump quite often.
Yeah, that's how Jake Paul acts.
Essentially, this is sort of who I've been aiming this shade that I've been throwing at. it really is, like, honestly, genuinely is. No! No! Ah, bit late. Jumping balls in an FPS for the game. Greatest thing, not the greatest idea in the world, but shush. Yeah, this is sort of who I've been addressing this. Well, there's plenty of people who do it. So it's not like this man is the greatest problem that. Not again. Not again. Really?
That killed me? Goddamn infidels, damn Jake Paul is a god. Oh, Jesus Christ.
But you know. Oh, it brought me back. Do I need to get in this? That's a no, isn't it? Nope. Let me explain my line of reasoning, and I'm sure you at the end of this, you and I will come, the chat and I will come to an understanding. My thinking was, this surely doesn't just slam into that, right? For no apparent reason whatsoever. Need to wait. Need to wait for the thing to be fully extended and then go. I'm learning, okay? Bear with me. But my line of reasoning was... No. My line of reasoning was, surely that just doesn't slam into metal, right? Surely there is method to this madness. It's now, isn't it? Yeah. There you go. Not that difficult. that was funny. Do something with this? Hello, demons. It's your boy. Something just killed this person. Or this former person. It's, I talked about this. There's not a lot of games do this, where there like, enemies fight each other. That's quite cool. The original Quake used to do it. I'm talking about that quite a bit. That one was a masterpiece back in its day. Because you could, like, if you're fighting a particularly tough enemy, and I know it eventually it descended into just speedrunning the game, but eventually when we didn't know how to speedrun and we didn't know speedrunning was a thing, and, you know, back in the days when we would think that speedrunning just meant running quickly, we would essentially, in order to get past like a particularly difficult phase or a particularly difficult enemy, we would get it to attack one of the other more difficult enemies and have them fight each other, you know, and watch from the sidelines and not get involved, because if they get involved, they sort of attack you. But if you don't get involved, you could have them butcher each other to all intents and purposes. Really, I didn't get it to you on time. Great. It was very fun, and I don't think a lot of games reuse that mechanic very often, because it was rather, was rather interesting, and I saw the possibility for that a little bit in XCOM 2 of all places, because it will give you 3 sort of factions in certain maps. It will give you the Lost, it will give you Advent, and it will give you, your guys, the Resistance. So I was hoping that we would see more of that. That's a cool kill. My favourite is when you grab his rocket launchers and crush his skull with that. That is by far one of the best kills in the game. But I was hoping for that, but the Lost AI was just ridiculous. I mean, it would ignore Advent right next to it to go after my sniper, which was on the other side of the map, and it was just... Yeah, could have been better, but it gave me hope, but I don't think a lot of games did that since Quake. And it was nuanced.
My phone is going to crap, but I subscribed to the
Hello, channel. Thank you so much. It's highly appreciated. And the irony is that we were talking about appreciation and stuff like that recently. So, but yeah, thank you. It's I'll live for that, man. I swear to God, I do. It's like,
I don't know if I mentioned this. Oh crap! Sparrows was going to go commit suicide.
shut up, you. Just scaring away other members of the chat and making them feel awkward. You, I know you.
Kidding, honestly.
So I don't think I mentioned this on the channel. I talked about this with like friends and stuff, but like, I woke up one morning feeling like shite. For I don't know why. It's the weather. I have a heat problem with cloudy weather. Like, there's one sort of what's the word?
Quirk, I suppose, about my personality that you
now know. It was cloudy and I felt like shite, and I woke up to my phone ringing and someone commenting on one of my videos like, thank you so much or whatever. I absolutely love your channel, and then it was a fairly lengthy comment detailing like it was just positiveness essentially. It was just thank you and then yada 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 and stuff like that, and it just gave me strength for the rest of the day. I swear to God, it felt amazing. It's like it, sure enough, boosts your ego a little bit too much, but look, it felt absolutely amazing. It always does. So yeah. Do you know what the stupid bit is? I remember this spot. Like, this spot I have no questions about. This spot I know where I need to go. I remember. Previous spot I don't know, which is... I don't know. Now remember this as well, because you need to not be here when that thing is there. But now you go through, and you might say, well, it's rather obvious. Look. Kind of. Kind of is, yes. Little bit, but still. Like, I remember all of it. And also...
I need to pause to read this. Well, if I can't say people are going to go commit die, can I say that they're going to commit death keto? Death pasito, actually.
If you make that reference one more time, I'm going to fucking commit death pasito. Look, it's horrible enough having to deal with children around the house singing that 24/7 without having to deal with it online is all I'm going to have to contribute to this conversation. But at any rate, be that as it may, this is a no bars held chat. I didn't say you can't do it. I was mostly poking fun and enjoyment out of it. What is a fairly inconsequential comment. Yeah, I'll show you some death pasito. There you go. How about that? Oh no! What happened with my voice? No! We will not have this conversation. There we go. Game needs more death animations, though. More melee death animations. What, you mean exactly the thing that Doom 2 is going to have? And yes, I'm still going to call it Doom 2. Basically. It's basically that. We need Doom 2 now. That's good. This is great preparation for the game. Ah, another one of those challenge things. What is this one, actually? Armed combat shotgun, limit 10 unwilling with explosive barrel before the timer expands. Ah. No. And the good part is you sort of get rewards out of it, and you get buffs out of it and stuff like that, like permanent buffs, which is cool, but... eh. Don't have the time for that. But I like the name, though. I won't lie. I like the name. I'm going to use that reference in the future. This is going to... I shoot this, yes? So what did he say? When you go down the elevator, go right. Is that what he said? When you fall down the elevator. This is the elevator. I fell down the elevator. Juggernaut, have people ever told you not to take them too literally? Yes. Yes, they have. Yes. This is indeed something that happened. Jump! There we go.
Welcome to the UAC. Opening the gates of hell.
Was it here? First of all, I'm being armed like a MF. Was it go left or right? Well, I haven't fallen down the elevator. I've ascended up the elevator. I'm pretty sure it's not here yet. Huh. Okay. Front. Okay. Well, we'll find it. We're still in the area. We'll find it. I need to ask a serious question right now, really quickly. Did you get a notification, like a certain person has subscribed or donated something or anything along those lines? Because I'm testing that out to see if it works. I think I need some sort of plugin or some sort of code to put into YouTube and the dashboard here before I can do that. But it seems to be very simple. I'm not sure if it works on its own. I think I need to set it up. But did you get like a little zombie running in front of the screen right around where the cursor is, slightly above it, or where the crosshair is, slightly above it, and it should have said, this person has subscribed. Oh, that's cool there. Wait for that to come through. Yeah. How much? Thank you for your cooperation in your death. I now need to kill one of you, like so. Thank you. What's happening? Okay. What happened? Oh, it's one of those survive things, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Personally, I didn't notice, but I've been vividly watching most of the time. Okay. I think it doesn't work yet. Because there is like a code that it's asking me to put in somewhere. I don't know where, but I haven't put it in anywhere yet, so... Pretty sure that that's... It's simple, though. You just put that code into YouTube, I think, or a dashboard here, and you get, like, subscriber notifications and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. Donation notifications, too. Really cool. And the coolest part is it does it on its own, right? It's pre-set up. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's pre-set up. Could you imagine that? Like, doing that, few... Oh yeah, essentially, long story short, they've been idiots, and they tampered with hell. A year ago or so, you would need to spend like a... Well, you would either need to pay someone, or spend several months learning how to code in order to make a notification pop up like that. It's stupid. Now it's flipping free. Like, here it is. This is the gun, isn't it? Yeah. How the hell did you miss this? Because I thought it was supposed to be like slightly hidden so you can get it earlier. You don't miss this gun, right? This is something you simply pick up. Pretty sure there's another spot in the game where you can pick it up if you do somehow manage to miss it. So I say how do you miss this gun when in actual fact I've seen people miss it, so I've seen one guy miss it, but still. Doesn't mean I get how you can miss something like this. It's looking at you, it's asking you to pick it up. If it was sentient, it would be yelling, "Oi, pick me up." Are you sure it would have been British if it was sentient? Yes. Look, yes. Ammo. But we are in my favourite part of the game, though. So yeah, there's that. Good news there, I suppose. I'm gonna have to end the stream soon, though. It's ridiculously warm in here, so I'm gonna need to leave outside for a little bit and cool off. Potentially grab something to eat. Maybe. Did I eat anything? What did I eat today? I ate like a burger, didn't I? Yes, I'm watching what I eat. It's the whole thing, don't worry. Shoot you in your stupid eye 5 million times and then you'll fall over dead. See this? Eat it. I love that so much. But I'm gonna feed you your own spleen. Rockets for you, because I feel rather generous. Look at that. Blew you up. See, here's the thing, too. I was sort of half-labeling this internally as like a preparation for Doom 2 stream. The more I'm playing this, the more I'm realizing what the changes to Doom 2 will be in like procedurally damaging enemies. So rather than just taking bits of their health off, you would do that, but also you could see visual and behavioral changes as you sort of damage them in Doom 2. So you could tear off their limbs and more along those lines, right? Stuff like that you could do, and it's awesome for bigger enemies. I've just noticed, because I fired like 5 or 6 missiles at him, and there was nothing but a little bit of red in his eye. And in the new Doom, you can actually start to see bits of him falling off and everything, which would be very, very interesting. And very fun to do. But it's an awesome game. I mean, there are... Oh god. There are very few games that I can play through on stream almost from start to finish. I'm not going to do this game from start to finish, that'd be ridiculous. But there are very few games that I can do sort of like from start to finish without getting sick or bored or or anything. Because I didn't take a break yet. Did you believe that? I've been blabbering on for what is probably... Was that person that missed it you? No, it was my friend. It was one of my friends that was playing it. I didn't. No, I did. Look, I'm not. I suck at video games, alright? And this is the case with most YouTubers. We suck at video games. Kind of what makes us entertaining a lot of the time. But when it comes to loot, no. I have a sixth sense, right? Loot I do not miss. I only miss loot if I want to miss loot, right? I do not miss stuff like that. I'll be shite at the game. I'll die over and over again. Fair enough. That's okay. But loot? Nah. Loot is what I play for. Nah. I have special abilities to find loot and acquire it in all given situations. And as a matter of fact, it's actually the reason for my death a lot of the time. is seeking out more loot. Huh? Kind of want to try again. Kind of why I want to play Tarkov 2. No, that would be. Then again, I kind of don't because it's early on and there's wipes and there's. I'm going back and forth on that. Like, yes, Skulky. I'm going back and forth on that in the last few days. This? No, it's blue key. And I know, before I even look at chat, I know the thing that you're going to say is, what about the blue key card? Look. First of all, blue key card. We don't talk about the blue key card. That's like one of those PTSD moments in the streamer's life. First of all. Second of all, you are going to talk about it. Blue key card is not loot. Blue key card is a key card to the next level. That's not loot. That's a thing that opens a door. It doesn't classify as loot. Loot is stuff like ammunition, weapons, and other bullshit like that. The map is confusing because it's leading me back to the door that I don't have the key for, and it's... wish it didn't do that. Because I'm talking about something, and halfway through my sentence I'll go, ooh, look, you're going the wrong way, the map's pointing that way. Oh, right, the map's pointing to where you need to end up eventually, not to where you need to go. That, and I've been streaming for hours, and have, without a break, and it is, at this point, slightly getting uncomfortable. Ah, see? Loot. Oh, and skull, but yeah. Found it. Welcome to the game, Blue Keycard 2. Oh, don't you dare. That was like like 60 seconds, maybe. Wrong door. Okay. No. We found it. Found it. There is a segment after this, though. That I will promise you. There is a segment after this when you go bunny hopping across a bunch of floating rocks. After that, there is a segment indoors that will be the blue card returns, right? Another one of those challenges I just want to touch and not play. Except it's not a challenge, it's an artifact. Okay. Oh, here is where we died many times. Oh, let me put a caveat to that. Here is where I died many times every time I played through the game. If I one-shot this now, I would be rather impressed with myself. Seriously doubt that's going to happen. But if it does... Like I said... Oh, I remember you being in it. See, that guy is the most trouble. Or was. If I remember correctly. Though I think I used the Gauss gun sparingly last time. But yeah, this is a difficult bit. This and the one later where you don't have any ammunition practically due to previous fights, and you fight like 2 or 3 of those fatties with oh, sorry, nutritionally challenged people with rocket launchers. I don't know, this bit looks easy actually. What are you talking about? Nah, not yet. See, the difficulty is in that they keep spawning. And they don't really give you a break for ammo or recuperation, and that's kind of going to be the theme with Hell. When we're, come here. Ow. That's actually a very nice dodge. That's kind of lucky. Shotgun. Shot. See what I'm talking about? Health. I need health. Thank you. Helpful. Gauss cannon. I need to not hit you with the Gauss cannon, but apparently that's what I'm gonna do. No. Health. I need health. I need health. I need to hit you with a Gauss cannon, which I no longer have the ammunition for, which is kind of presenting me a bit of a challenge now. Okay. Oh god. the accidental dodging is like a moment of brilliance from what was most likely a very traumatic experience from like a year ago, and now I'm sort of remembering it in flashes. I need to pause to read this. And to catch a breath. Well, the segment was long enough for Fluffy Assassin to comment on it, so it was reasonably long. Nutritionally challenged people and slightly upset individuals on adventures again. Oh, God. See, that's the Doom that EA wants to sell you. Yeah? That's the Doom that EA wants to sell you. This, on the other hand, is the Doom that Bethesda wants to sell you, and the developers of Doom. Who developed Doom? I can't remember the company name. Ah, this bit. See, for this bit, I saved the gas cannon last time. And right now... doesn't look like there's much saved up here, per se. I need the ammo. Oh, the armor, sorry. Secret. No, that's not a secret, it's staring me in the face. Do you call that a secret? No, that's a firefly. Or a... What is actually all this in the floating? It's obviously not an insect. What is it? Like, embers? Flames? Flying around for some reason? Press... I'm here! Ooh, I remember this bit too. Hey, look at that. Another slightly upset individual. And blue key. Or blue skull, but same difference really. EA new title is Safe Space the Game, introducing trigger. Basically, yeah, if you want to take pandering to this non-existent audience to the next level, which I've argued doesn't exist, and not in real life, and clearly it doesn't considering the sales. And here's the thing, this is the beauty of it. You're going back to Battlefield again. No, I won't. Just one sentence, I promise. Most people that seem to like the game and seem to want to play it don't want to play it because of what other people dislike in it. They want to play it because it's a Battlefield, because they get to drive tanks around on an open multiplayer map, they get to play with their friends, they're used to this particular genre, and, you know, stuff like that. They don't care about the characters, they don't care about the fact that it has nothing to do with history, despite being set in World War II, so on and so forth. The primary argument for these people of why they bought the game is, I don't care. So I have yet to find a single individual, and this goes beyond Doom, I have yet to find a single individual to go, oh, you know what, this game has a female protagonist, I'm gonna buy it because of that. Or, you know what, this game has a disabled person as the protagonist, I'm gonna buy it because of that. These people don't exist. How stupid do you think your audience is? No, that doesn't exist. That's not a thing. Make a good game and people will buy it. Make a bad game, people won't buy it. Also spend a little bit of money on marketing. It helps. As I'm sure you're realizing now, but yeah, thank God that Mr. 12-year-old daughter guy is... Oh, that was a hit and a half, mate. Congratulations. Yep. Take it. But yeah, thank God that Miss 12-year-old daughter guy is gone. Because I have nothing against children. I have many things against children developing my video games for me and telling me to either get with it or get lost. That we can talk about. What the fuck does a child underage 12-year-old have to do with Battlefield anyway? Surely her place is more Call of Duty-esque, is it not? Open, says me. Tell you what though, I think this is quite enough for a stream because I finished like most of the game, at least like more than half of it I think, in one stream. So I'll do one more stream probably next week, and we'll finish the game then, and it'll be fine and dandy. And I'll tweak it a little bit and try and see if I can get the chat on screen working with the overlay, and see if I can't get the other thing. What's the other thing? Notifications. Yes. See if I can get the notifications working too. At any rate, thank you very much for watching, everyone that tuned in live, as well as everyone that tuned in, you know, not live, and watching it over the VOD. I've been also thinking, and I probably should have mentioned this at the start of the stream, but I've been also thinking about moving streams over to Twitch. And whilst this would be beneficial to the channel and would attract more people, because realistically very few people watch YouTube for streams, and not a lot of people follow YouTube streamers. The streaming place is Twitch, right? And realistically, if you get some people together in a stream, it pushes you sort of up, and you can attract a lot more in terms of audience on Twitch. So it's easier to grow your streaming channel on Twitch a hell of a lot more than it is on YouTube. It's a bit problematic in that I would like to just be able to sort of start the stream and not worry about it, whereas over in Twitch I would need to create like a notification video on YouTube and be like, hey, I'm streaming over at twitch.tv, come join. And I need to do that pretty much every time I want to stream, so here's the thing though, Twitch is really, really good for streamers and for content creators that they approve of and that have them like partners and stuff. They're like really good to them. In so many ways, whereas YouTube just does not have this. You have streamers on YouTube practically have no support that content creators don't have, or there's nothing special about streaming on YouTube. Yeah, I would definitely like, but let's get out of here. At any rate, I'll think about it. Probably won't move over to Twitch, but maybe I will. Who knows? At any rate, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe down below if you've enjoyed the video, either live or the VOD, and I'll see you all next time. This is a relatively safe space to save in. I'll see you guys next time. That's about it for me.